Well, there are several Americans believed to be amongst the hostages. President Joe Biden has been telling the families to, quote, hang in there, and that the U.S. is coming. And now families are hopeful their loved ones were among those who will be released. Our Richard Madden is in our Washington bureau this morning, tracking all of the latest details on what we're hearing from the U.S. this morning. Good morning to you, Richard. So what are we hearing from the White House?
Well, we have heard from President Joe Biden in a statement overnight where he credited the leaders of Qatar and Egypt who helped put this deal together. He also praised the tireless diplomacy and relentless efforts, saying, and I'm quoting here, "I look forward to speaking with each of these leaders and staying in close contact as we work to ensure this deal is carried through in its entirety. It's important that all aspects of this deal be fully implemented." And all this comes after weeks of complicated secret talks in Qatar, where the U.S. and Egypt acted as a broker between the two sides, with President Biden reportedly intervening personally several times, along with his foreign policy team, Secretary of State Antony Blinken, and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. Reuters is reporting Biden even held an undisclosed call with the Emir of Qatar as proposals about a potential hostage deal was coming together. Now, one of the sticking points was reportedly Hamas wouldn't identify who it was holding. Biden demanded to know their names, including the ages, gender, and nationalities. So when Hamas eventually agreed, Biden spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and urged him to take the deal. Now, this, of course, is all very tenuous. There's understandably deep mistrust between the Israelis and Hamas. But privately, though, top U.S. officials reportedly caution this deal could still fall apart, insisting nothing is really final until the hostages are brought home safely and the guns go silent.
Absolutely. So, Richard, what about the families? I can't imagine the relief that they must be feeling knowing that there is this deal that will potentially be in place very soon. But what are they saying?
Yeah, well, there is a huge sigh of relief and optimism, of course. One watching very closely is a woman. Her name is Galaya Mitsrahi. She's a 49-year-old mother who lives in Los Angeles. Her 17-year-old daughter and two young sons, believed to be the ages of 12 and 9, were among those taken hostage and are on the list to be released. It's just unclear when she'll see them. Take a listen.
It's been so long. We've been stuck on October 7th for 45 days, looping this in our minds over and over again. And just to have a sliver of hope and just a break already, just a break.
Egypt's state-run television reported the truce could likely begin at 10 a.m. local time in Israel. The deal so far releases mostly women and children, 50 of them who were held hostage. So depending on how this first tenuous phase goes, more hostages could eventually be released.